Tommie's Honest Advice. Thank you so much for tuning in. As it was requested, I am doing a movie review on Dune 2. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I'm going to start with the characters. I'm on the fence about my favorite character, just because there's a lot of characters. But I think that Zendaya might be her name. She's a singer. I think she's at the top of my list. And then there's also a villain. I know. I kind of like villains. But let's go into where I think this movie kind of fits. It's kind of all over the place. It's kind of mystery, thriller, drama. It's gruesome. Fantasy. I guess if you are going to see this movie, just think about like the chain of events. Like if you've seen like Star Wars, or if you've seen like Lord of the Rings, or if you've seen The Hobbit. In this movie, you do need to pay attention, but you do need to watch the first one, or you're going to be confused. I still was confused, so let's get into the movie. So it ends basically in the desert, right? So the main character basically has his family, majority of his family and his community or his village was basically attacked. It was overnight. They ended up killing his father, but him and his mom survived. His mother actually was pregnant, and you learn through this movie that she can communicate with the baby. It's a bit weird. But anyway, so this character, he gets trained to basically, I'm going to call them the desert people. One of my favorite characters overall. These are the people with the blue eyes. But basically the main character is going through these series of events as far as flashbacks, events of who he was, events of his bloodline, how they got there. And it's not a nice journey as he has these flashbacks. He keeps having this one flashback where this lady, the main character, that kind of trained him, that he kind of fell in love with. Apologies for the noise in the background. I have two birds, Yippee and Juju. But the main character, he gets these flashbacks and nightmares of her being killed. And so he he basically is going through this journey. His mother, on the other hand, they have this power where it's weird. They can pick up on certain things. It's like mind control to a certain extent, but it's also like they can see the past, the present, and I think the future, somewhere in between that. But this main character, he's struggling in between love and what his destiny is. And through this movie, you learn that his mother was telling him basically like you have to choose, and she communicates with his sister. You end up finding out, I think it's a girl through a flashback, but baby ends up telling the mother like, hey, he basically needs to drink the blue juice. Blue juice is from the creature that the desert people are riding. They're a smaller version, but he's going to risk his life to take this blue juice that his sister says he needs to take in order to become fully who he's supposed to be. But again, unfortunately, how he gets there, that doesn't involve love. It involves sacrifice, it involves entanglement, and let's get back to the bloodline. So apparently he has a cousin. His mother kept that away from him, so he's actually related to the villain that I like. I think he should have had like a bigger part in the movie. That's just my take. But anyway, you learn about this villain. They get into this battle, right? But before this battle, he runs into one of his like village people, right? So and the village guy helps him recover basically like this lot of like basically advanced bombs, and he basically tells him, yeah, this is going to help you, but basically after that he's put to the test or whatever. He, basically has the desert people on his side. He's training. He meets this village friend. I just spoke on what that was about. But then moving forward, he's supposed to marry. Right, so his cousin ends up knocking up this lady. I'll have to watch Dune 1 again to figure out. It's something with the bloodline. I think in order for him to continue to be at the top, or his bloodline, he needs to marry this lady that basically got impregnated by his cousin, which he kills his cousin. So then now the lady that he fell in love with, you see in the movie that she runs off because she wasn't expecting that. But I told you, through his journey, he is told by his mother, he's told by his baby sister, who still is not born yet, but communicates that he has to choose destiny. He has to choose his bloodline. He cannot be falling in love. He cannot be getting distracted, because that's going to cloud it. And that could ruin basically the journey that they had to take. And again, their journey that they had to take was not the best. Okay, it's full of deceit, manipulation, death. So yeah, the bloodline thing I'm still kind of confused about, but I kind of get it. But anyway, moving forward, let's talk about the costumes. I loved it. The fight scenes, I feel like some of them, they rushed. Like you could kind of tell with some of the moves they were doing. But the other scenes, I love the desert scenes. The desert people, of course, were my favorite. Now, the creepiness of this movie is, again, these sacrifices and rituals and these random powers that these people have. And you just learn that again, it's the bloodline thing. It goes back to sacrifices and fighting and defeat. But yeah, as far as the things I guess I didn't like so much, the missing pieces, I don't know if there's a way to kind of piece together. You just kind of have to pay attention. But the bloodline thing, I wish that they kind of slowed that down to elaborate on why that's so important. I get the continuation of that, right? Because the main character, like I stated in the first one, majority of his village and his family got killed off. So I guess in order for them to continue it on, he has to make this big move and marry his cousin's lady who he got impregnated, and go from there. So in the end, he picks himself. Let me see. Is there something else I didn't like? I think that's really it. That's really my only complaint. I will say this: if you are going to go see it, please watch the first one. Pay attention. I was lacking in that first one. I was kind of distracted. But the first one to me was a bit more slow. So I favored the second one over the first one. I would say that. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you've seen it, what you think about the movie. Let me know. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Again, I'm going to be putting up the polls as far as like what videos you guys want to see. And you just let me know by voting. And yeah, enjoy your day.